Stupid boy. I told you nobody gets out of here, whether alive or dead. So how was your wanton ransacking of my domain?
Greetings, Father. My ransacking was a delight, thank you for asking. So I'll just be on my way again.
Be on your way indeed. What do I care? You shall never reach the surface. Go, see for yourself.
Who's that sniveling shade to your immediate left there, Father? Already found someone new to do the busy work, and here I thought I was utterly indispensable.
That shade boy is my newly designated contractor, one whose responsibility is to work on this house. Though who shall pay for everything my subjects here demand, I do not know.
You're trying to guilt me into funding the exorbitant furnishings you desire.
Perhaps once we are finished with repairs for all the carnage you have sown throughout my realm, then we might finally have time for all the needed renovations that have piled up.
Nice.
Olympus knows of him, bestowing on him all their worthless blessings here within my realm. Our realm. Explain to me how exactly this is possible, Nix. Either your limitless power has considerably waned, or you are up to something.
Do not question my power, Hades. Your son was bound to be discovered the closer he came to the surface. The Olympians are pleased to know they have a distant relative and bid him welcome to their mountain. That is all. Their influence is very limited.
Blood and darkness, do not speak to me about their influence. I've seen their influence firsthand. You've made a foolish mistake.
You would speak to me of foolish mistakes. You cannot change the course that has been set. Try all you like.
Nix.
Father, what happened to the lounge? The only place for anyone to have a little fun around here, and you seal it shut.
Oh, I had little choice about that boy. You see, after you fled the first time, Cerberus, why, he was very much upset. Utterly tore the place to shreds. It's now under repair. All thanks to you.
You're really blaming me for not minding the dog while I was out and while you all were here.
I lay the blame entirely upon you, yes. Who else? It's fortunate that Cerberus has calmed himself since then. Come to his senses, I should say. May you yet come to yours.
Wow. Oh, of course.
I never grew accustomed to the air up here. It gusts senselessly whichever way it pleases. I suppose you must prefer it to the stillness of the air below.
You know, you're right. The air up here seems pretty good so far. But I will reserve judgment till I've had my fill. I have to say, though, Father, the Helm of Darkness suits you. I'm touched you dust it off on my account.
It should not have had to come to this. For all your antics with me yet around the house, I always kept my temper, have I not? Unlike you.
Well, let's see. You've berated me repeatedly and often. You've lied to me, mustered your wretched forces to kill me over and over, but sure, I'll grant you that you've always kept most of your anger bottled up. All that's about to change, then?
We're gods, boy. Killing one another is our lot. Although I always thought I was above it. I told you that you cannot leave this place. It seems I must enforce my rules myself. I'm sending you home. Now.
No, you're going home, not me.
Welcome home, boy. You're late for dinner. Or breakfast, or whatever blasted meal's next.
That's all right, Father. I'm not feeling very hungry at the moment.
I've asked repeatedly for the construction of a sundial, but every time they tell me no. Can you believe it? Your impertinence with me inspires all. Family. Death is your only family. Death and I. Best get accustomed to the both of us.
No, not on your life.
The sea, the heavens and the earth. All of this belongs to my brothers. We are their kin by birth, but we are foreigners in their country.
No. No mournful speeches. Now get out of my way.
You impertinent brat. Fine. Impulsiveness runs in the family.
Shut up. I guess there's only one thing left to do. Isn't that so, Father?
There was a time when Cerberus would never have permitted any soul to exit through that gateway there behind you.
Oh, that can't possibly be true. What about Orpheus, Theseus, Heracles, Odysseus? Countless tales of brave men delving into the underworld, then leaving whence they came.
They left on my authority alone, nor did they take for granted my good graces. You believe you are entitled simply to walk out of here, from your birthright and your responsibilities. But I am here to tell you, no. This cold, white substance falling slowly from the heavens. Snow, they call it. Look carefully upon each fleck. Tiny crystals, but structurally weak. They melt. This surface realm, it is held up by mine.
If you're quite finished teaching me about this snow phenomenon, can we get on with brutally trying to kill each other here?
You wish to have your mortal-colored blood spill once again upon this bed of snow, then fine. Let us proceed. You are not to aid him in these matters, Nyx. His foolishness is to be scorned and reprimanded, not indulged. Do we have an understanding?
We have an understanding, Hades, yes. He is your own son, after all, and therefore your responsibility. I, in turn, have my commitments to this realm and to this house. You have aided me in them, so I remain, as ever, in your debt.
It is not necessary to remind me. Surely all those who once defied my brothers and myself would much prefer a post within my house over eternity within the lowest depths of Tartarus. Not that the darkness there would trouble you.
I hate it when they fight.
Nobody gets out of here, boy. Whether alive or dead. You think I jest? You think I haven't tried?
You failed. I won't. You call my chambers a mess? Look at your desk, Father. Whatever happened to your court musician, huh? Where's his sentencing parchment work? Stuck in Tartarus all because he stopped singing for you on command?
My desk is far more organized than you, boy. And if you're so concerned about our court musician, why don't you commute his sentence yourself? Seeing as I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Sure, happy to oblige. I'll just ask the house contractor since you're too busy. Contractor, mind locating the court musician's sentence when you get the chance? There we go. In the name of Hades, I commute our court musician's sentencing effective now.
Oh, hello.
Ah, Orpheus.
Too pricey for me.
Oh, hello, Zagreus. I understand you liberated me from my eternal punishment. And so I have returned to serve your father here. Thanks.
Orpheus, you're back. Look, don't get on Father's bad side like that and you're going to be fine. Besides, right now I think he's angry with me.
I grieve for you, my friend. But if you've come to ask me for a song, why, I'm afraid I must stand firm about my answer.
It's all right. Father can't make you sing if you don't want to. Out of my damn way.
You still have yet to see the sun itself. You know only the light of Ixion, but the sun, it is positively blinding. Hideous.
It has been snowy nightfall every single time now that you mention it. I didn't know it snowed so much up here.
It hasn't always, but that's of no consequence to us. Especially when there's a raging battle to be fought. Such contempt for your own father. But we are not finished here yet. How? You... Go. Go then. Go! Get out of here! Get out!
I told you that I would, Father. And I'm going to. Goodbye.
Wait, just... If you find her... If you somehow find her... Tell her something for me. Tell her Cerberus is doing very well.
What? Wait, I don't think I owe you any favors here. So answer me one question and I'll give it some thought. How's that?
I know your question, boy. But ask it anyway.
Persephone. My mother. Why did she leave?
Blood and darkness. There is no escape.
Goodbye, Father.
You are late, boy. Have you any idea what time it is?
No. Wait, what? I vanquished you in single combat and finally found Mother, and that's all you have to say to me?
Nonsense. Don't you think I would recall such an event?
You can't be serious. You're going to pretend as though it never happened. She wants answers, same as I do. She demands you let me pass. Let me go to her again.
Silence. This discussion is over. I hardly think this is the time or place to indulge your overwrought imagination.
I know where we can continue this discussion then. You're not going to stop me.
You now know that even if you are able to surpass me, you shall ultimately perish soon enough. And yet you still persist. Utterly senseless.
I found her, Father, and I'm going to find Mother again. And again and again until I have some answers finally. She'd like some answers too, beginning with, why did you never tell her that I lived? You let her go and left her to her grief.
Silence, boy. Save all your ignorant and baseless accusations. You seem incapable of heeding my request that you not blather on about a matter you shall never understand. Then I shall save my breath for this fight. It is plain to me that you are helping him. In spite of my insistence, you do not. What do you expect that I should do about this, Nyx? What would you do in my position? Deception in my very house and home. Answer me.
Hades, my relationship with him remains unchanged. It is the very same relationship from when you first requested I take care of him. He has my full support and always shall. You must know this. He wishes now to leave. I shall make no attempt to stop him.
What good is any one of you? He's not even your son, and yet you coddle him. You know as well as I that he cannot succeed. You fill his mind with harmful delusions. If that is what you want for him, then please, proceed at pace.
They're at it again, because of me.
This is where you belong. You feel out of place? Where would you even go? What would you have me do? Your place is here.
My place is with my mother. You're never late, Father.
You know now what you're doing here is without any purpose whatsoever. Even if I don't slay you myself, you'll simply perish when you cross that threshold there. And yet you still persist.
I do. Besides, making these treks helps pass the time during the ongoing underworld renovations, and I'll be in tip-top shape once they're complete.
Would that we had a little more support. The renovations could have been complete by now. As ever, you think only of yourself. But if you must insist like this, then you will find me waiting for you once you get here. Every single time.
Quite a mess you've created, I must say, Father, after being of no help whatsoever when it comes to disentangling it all. Though this isn't the place to talk, right?
No, it most certainly is not. Though I take it shall not be long before another of our private meetings then.
Count on that. I'm back, Father.
You were never supposed to live. Took all of Nyx's strength to circumvent what should have been a certainty. Now you cannot stay dead. Such is the wry humor of the fates.
Nyx saved me, so according to the fates, I was never meant to be born, since neither you nor Mother are of the underworld, something like that? Or was it just another lie you told, to Mother and whoever else?
You think everything a lie. The realm beneath our feet was appointed to me on certain conditions, not that I had much of a choice. Among them, a one-time surface dweller such as I would never have an heir.
You really believe that? Then why attempt to have a child anyway?
You don't know anything. Why anyone would choose to have a child is a mystery to me. The fates said I would never have an heir. Perhaps this was all they meant. No matter how many times you beat me, we're family. There's no escaping that. You shall soon follow.
See you at home.
I told you, boy. I told you. There's no escape from here. Learn that the hard way, then.
You could have told me more important things. Mother left because she never even knew I was alive, thanks to you. She's got a lot of questions herself, as you can probably imagine. I'm headed back to her. You going to cooperate?
Nonsense. Listen to me. If you have any sense remaining in that head of yours, I caution you not to discuss this here and now.
Let me go. Let me find her. She demands it.
No. I'll hear no demands from you.
All right, this is it.
My brothers and my sisters and myself, we too wanted to slay our parents. The Titans. Bastards. And worse.
And you succeeded. Chopped up some of them into many tiny bits and sprinkled them throughout the pits of Tartarus so they can't regenerate. Or so I hear. Inspiring, really.
We had no recourse at the time save to collaborate. Developed a specific plan and saw it through. And the Titans. You think me cruel, yet know nothing of cruelty. But here, you want something to hate, then have it. Oh. Then go. See what awaits you in this realm. My strength fails.
Yes.
You have been keeping our contractor rather busy, I must say. Commissioning these frivolous projects around the house with the wealth you wrest from my domain. What are you hoping to achieve?
Oh, you know, just giving back to the community. Figure if I'm to keep getting dragged back here, it might as well be somewhat livable.
Livable. When last I checked, making the underworld livable was not among our top priorities. Just remember, in your brazenness, whose house this is.
Well aware, thanks. I'll just keep coming back.
Ah, but there you are, boy, finally. Despite my knowing you are always late for everything, here you've outdone yourself by quite some time.
Oh, shut up and get your fork. And burn away that regal cape and let's get to this then. I'd no idea you had all these capes to spare. Must have a whole entire storage chamber full of them.
Your mockery of me may temporarily embolden you, but achieves nothing useful in the end. Death is inescapable. If you think otherwise, why then, don't let me stop you.
Wasn't planning on it. Crisp, cold air.
There you are. Then let us now commence this ugly business yet again.
Been waiting long?
The world beyond my realm is not for you. You're going home. Blast you, boy. You think you are superior to me? You are a fool. You'll never truly win.
Bye.
Why, I can scarce believe my eyes. Is that you, boy? Cerberus, look who it is. He's back.
Cerberus looks mournfully toward the prince.
No need to drag the dog into this, father.
Anything you say to me, you say in front of Cerberus. You might even learn a thing or two from him of listening and of obedience.
One less bit of business to take care of, then.
To think Olympus has been aiding you. You must be so grateful to them for their aid, without which none of this would have been possible.
Yeah, about that. Father, did you let Mother go because you feared Olympus would find out? And not respond well to the circumstances if they did?
Be grateful they have not found out as yet for all your meddling. You do not know them as well as you think. Ask yourself why she left Olympus and how. Or better yet, ask her.
Well, she seems quite lovely, so knowing you probably tricked her into signing a pact to come join you or something. Since you weren't allowed on Olympus, why not have Olympus come to you?
Ha! Surprisingly not distant from the truth. I took her, boy. I took her down with me. Is that what you wish to hear? Does that anger you? Come, bring forth that anger then.
Nice night, no?
I must admit to something, boy. Achilles taught you reasonably well. I expected that if anyone could train you into martial competence, it would be him.
Though you didn't expect that one day I would end up using everything I learned from him against you.
I anticipate more than you know. But Achilles merely practiced against mortals. Now you practice against me. Megarod tells me that you surpassed her well out there. How utterly embarrassing for her, to say the least.
I suppose you're going to punish her in some cruel fashion, then?
Oh, I've already seen to that, of course. You think she volunteered to deal with you? Nobody did. That's how ignoble a task it is.
That's strangely comforting to know.
Upon my name, you lack the cheerfulness of Hypnos and the competence of Thanatos, but have more willfulness than both combined.
I'll show you willfulness. Haven't you had enough?
So, boy, did you ask her about how she came to join me in the underworld? Did you confirm all your suspicions then?
You didn't drag her down to hell yourself, apparently. You're not going to tell me who did, though I can well imagine. Your brothers got to reign forever on Olympus while you got sent down into the underworld. So they gave you a consolation prize, didn't they?
You make such accusations knowing next to nothing. Careless as ever. Poseidon had nothing to do with it. He knows even less than you. If you value her existence or your own, it would be wise to keep it that way, and to turn back.
Question for you, Father. The name Kore happen to mean anything to you by any chance?
What? Where did you... Ah, the cold witch brought it up, did she? Never repeat that name again. Not here, nor anywhere, you hear me, boy? Know only this. The one called by that name despised it even more than I.
So let's see. Demeter's daughter went missing. She wound up down here. I happened. Mother left. Demeter and everyone else on Olympus apparently has no idea. That about right? Tell me what happened.
I'll tell you nothing. Keep meddling in matters that you cannot understand, and you'll incur the wrath of Olympus on all that you hold dear. And know that it is not for my sake that I'm warning you.
You can't hide the
Hello.
truth forever. Every blasted time.
She was the queen. Queen of the underworld. My queen. Commanding reverence, and awe, and fear. She was not just... what was the term you used? A consolation prize. You are as disrespectful to her as you are to me.
Oh, what would you even know? You claim so much respect for her, yet you didn't even respect her enough to tell her what happened after she left. But what am I saying? I know you love her still, Father. That best explains all the terrible choices you've made.
All the terrible choices I've made. By the time you have existed for as long as I have, pray you will have made fewer. Although I fear you shall surpass me in at least this one regard.
I don't think I'll ever get accustomed to the breeze.
Why? Why do you keep showing up? In spite of knowing that the outcome shall be just the same as how it always was.
Beats having to toil away under your overbearing supervision. And besides, as you may be aware, I've recently made up my mind to leave this place.
Yeah, utterly incorrigible. When next we meet here, then we'll keep it brief. I have grown weary of our aimless conversations. Now prepare. What is it now? I see that sneering look upon your countenance, which must mean you have yet another one of your insipid questions, haven't you?
Oh, this one's not insipid in the slightest. Let me get this straight. My mother's Persephone, her mother's Demeter, but her father evidently was some farm boy. My red blood comes from him, and my propensity to die, I guess.
You blame your ancestors for your own weakness. You should be thankful you were born with immortality. Though your meddlesome curiosity and constant need for affirmation must certainly be from your mortal side.
Then Mother, did she grow older with age? Is she just going to expire as the mortals do? With demigods, I hear it can go either way.
I said never to speak of her, blast you. You said yourself she is the daughter of the goddess of seasons. Use your fool head for once.
I'll have to try that, thanks. You still don't understand.
I have done virtually everything within my power to prevent this. All of it. For nothing. The fates were not content to saddle me within the earth. They mock me still.
Maybe they just think you're in the wrong, and that you're an obstinate, overbearing, and miserable excuse for a husband and father. Don't you understand I'm trying to fix the problems you caused? since you're so unwilling to do it yourself.
You're right. I was unwilling. I made my choices in all this. I loved her, yes. I loved her terribly. But now, it seems I'm merely delaying the inevitable. Go then. Go to her. But should harm befall her, I shall bring my worst wrath upon whomever is to blame, including you.
What? You're letting me go just like that? You're just afraid of getting struck down again. You're serious?
Go. Before I reconsider. Not this time.
Goodbye, Father. The sun.
Zagreus!
Mother? Mother, wait. What is all this?
Oh, Zagreus, I almost missed you. Truthfully, I hoped that I could make it a surprise.
Make what a surprise?
My arrival. I'm going. To your home. To Cerberus, Nyx, your father.
You're... really? Mother, you're serious?
I am. Now, if you could just help me pack up my remaining things. Only a few loose odds I'm bringing, just in case. If we hurry, maybe you could join me, rather than return the customary way. Not something a mother ever wants to see.
Join you? But wait, how are you going to get back? I hadn't thought that far ahead.
Just so happens I know somebody who can give us a ride.
Charon?
Doubtless he has pressing matters to attend to. So let's not keep him waiting any longer, son. Come on, then.
I'm still alive. But how?
You're on the River Styx. No longer in the mortal realm entirely.
I can't believe that this is happening.
I know. My heart is racing. Nothing like a river journey to remind oneself that there's no turning back.
Seriously. Though, even after all of this, it's like we only just met. I have so many questions for you still.
We'll have plenty of time for them, I think. For now, best we keep quiet. Pretend we're just a couple of dead souls on their final voyage.
Isn't this Orpheus?
Snow everywhere. Mother.
we're here.
We're here.
This is embarrassing, but I don't know the way to get back in. Except, the customary way.
That's quite all right. I do. In the name of Persephone the Queen, open the gates! I spent many days tending this garden. Or nights? Quite difficult to tell the time here. But it's held on longer than I would have expected. Cerberus?
Persephone.
Cerberus. I missed you so. And dutiful as ever, aren't you?
I'm sorry. Know that I am sorry.
Hades. You look tired. Though I am not the only one you ought to be apologizing to.
I know. Why. Why have you returned? If Olympus, if your mother discovers what happened, not even Zeus, not even he could stop what would transpire here.
Oh, I have a thought or two about how we can settle that. Though I shall need for you and Zagreus to cooperate with me on a solution. Or, if you'd rather, I could just return the way I came.
A solution? What, do you intend to have them over for ambrosia? Not even you can fix a broken family, Persephone.
You're right, Hades. I can't. Certainly not by myself. So are you going to help me or what?
I would do anything that you would ask of me.
Then first, talk to your son.
Zagreus, you have already met Persephone, our queen. I expect for you to show deference to her at all times.
Wow, Father, you called me by my name. What is this strange sensation that I feel? Perhaps it's this deference of which you speak.
Oh, stop it, both of you! Don't make me regret this, Hades. Speak honestly with him. About yourself, not me. Go on.
Yes, Zagreus. I know there have been times when I've let my mood reflect on you. I showed very little patience. Questioned your judgment, often when my own was flawed. Thus, I apologize to you, my son. I have no excuses, and I ask no forgiveness.
What about the part where you lied to me about Mother? Do you apologize for that? Your foul moods and venting them on me. I've long since come to expect that from you, and I resented you for it. But I always thought you're honest.
Your mother did not come here willingly when we originally met. When she left, believing you were stillborn, her decision was final. I believed that she was better off without the lot of us, Olympus included. Deceiving both of you, it tore against my being, but it needed to be done.
Well, you didn't need to vent all that inner turmoil onto me throughout my life. Though, I think I understand. I only wish I could have understood sooner. So, what now? I've grown so used to ransacking your domain, I think I'm really going to miss it.
About that. Your ransacking revealed many flaws in our security. The types that never get into reports. Our reputation rides on there being no escape from here. Would you keep trying to break free? Not for my sake, but for this realm. For the Queen.
Zagreus, if you keep fighting out of here, it shall help keep appearances that everything is as it always was.
Question, Father. Let's say I accept. When next I reach the surface, Is it still going to be you waiting up there?
Ah, boy. If you think for an instant that I shall go easier on you because of this, you'll soon learn otherwise.
So I just battle to the surface and repeatedly kill my own father then?
You have it half correct.
Perhaps you'll also tend to my little cottage while you're in the area. The garden doesn't take much care at all. I'd like to keep the place in decent shape, in case I cannot suffer this for long.
Well, I guess I'll see what I can do.
Just do the best you can. And clearly I've work to do as well. We have a lot of it ahead of us, I'd say. So, shall we get started then?
Thus was Hades, feared ruler of the dead, reunited with his long-lost bride, Persephone, the queen. And together with their firstborn son, Prince Zagreus, they would go on to reign eternally beneath the earth, in relative harmony. The queen's return marked an occasion of enthusiastic joy, so much as possible in that dark, gloom-filled realm of the dead. And even after all this time, Olympus never did discover what transpired there, in the underworld.
After all this time, it's only been a few days. But it's been good. Mother and father are back together, made some new friends, got this fancy painting. Easy. All is well in the underworld. I can't entirely get used to seeing us together like this. Greetings, Father. So, I can just head on out there again whenever I want. Don't need to stick to any rigid schedule.
Your unpredictability is one of your assets. All defenses must always be on guard. So yes, go about your business as you best see fit.
And the Olympians are going to keep helping me, thinking I'm trying to get away from you to them. I can't keep this up with them forever, you know.
I do. Your mother, the Queen, is working on that. Heroes? Mere mortals, same as all the rest. Someday you shall visit Elysium and meet some of these heroes, and discover that they are quite different than the songs suggest.
Headed over to Elysium right now. Think you can beat me this time, Father?
Huh. Confronting you like this. It's different now. Still, it is a responsibility just as before. There is to be no escape from my realm. Ultimately, I must see to that myself.
That's the spirit, Father. As for me, I find the candor of our interactions here to be rather refreshing, I must say. Especially the interactions between my weapons and your physique. You're tough, but you're an easy target.
And you are scrawny, though slippery, blast you. All that pent-up rage behind your smiling words. Come, unleash it once again. I expect you to go all out. To the death.
To the death.
You're late with your report, Hypnos. Again. Again. The dead, of course, can wait, but I'm less patient. Now explain yourself to me.
Oh, well, let's see. I woke up, I don't know what time it was, and I made sure that every shade had been accounted for, just like I always do, except I couldn't find my list at first. Can you believe it? I thought maybe my brother played a little prank, and so...
Get to the blasted point already. I don't have all day or night. Your report, where is it?
Sure, I was just getting to it, Master. My list, I found it over by the lounge. It was inside, but I am not the one who put it there, no sir. So I've been making positively sure it's not been tampered with, that it has everybody's name, cause of death, place of birth, former body weight, any previous allergies or medications.
Enough. Blood and darkness, that's enough from you. Just See to it the ledger of the dead is accurate, and get back to your post. Would that you could be more like your brother.
You've done it now, Hypnos.
The heavy sleeping underworld prince arises, with the feeling that the brief nap he intended as a respite from the rigors of the day or night apparently was none too brief at all.
I'm late for work. Father's going to kill me.
Responsibility-rejecting Zagreus strides down his father's hall, quite unconcerned about the urgency with which he is expected to behave under a set of circumstances such as this.
Going as fast as I can. You hurry up.
The door to the administrative chamber beckons just beyond the hall. The prince perchance believes that he may enter quietly, without drawing the notice of those laboring within.
You better not give me away, old man.
Suggest you hurry in there, lad. Talk later. Let's not keep your father waiting.
Sorry.
The day or night's duties are sheer simplicity itself. At least at first, as when the prince simply signs in to signal the commencement of a shift.
Oh, gods.
Get on with your responsibilities.
Security reports concerning failed escape attempts from Tartarus require timely verification and official response, neither of which Prince Zagreus is fit to give. Records of expired house contractor renovations line a desk in the administrative chamber, though the prince has absolutely no desire now to organize them alphabetically by date.
None whatsoever, yes.
Attendance records of the working shades who toil for the house need to be verified. The shades' due compensation rapidly approved, and yet the prince cannot remember all the necessary steps.
I haven't forgotten. No one told me.
The often failing prince attempts to sort the ledgers in the fashion necessary for the proper keeping of his father's realm.
Damn it.
That is not correct.
The hard-laboring shades responsible for the administration of the prince's father's realm merely look on at the prince's ill-fated attempts.
Oh, come on.
Incorrect.
The relaxation-loving prince never paid suitably enough attention to learn properly how to arrange the record bookings of the regions of his father's realm.
Doesn't make any sense.
That's not...
This set of delicate responsibilities is easily achieved, at least by someone capable and trained to do the work, unlike the oft-distracted underworld prince.
What?
Enough, boy. Wrap it up.
At last, the work-disliking prince records a summary of the results of his attempts to be of any use to the administrative needs of his grim father's house.
Okay, I'm done. So, can I go yet, Father?
Not only were you late again, but then you also failed to perform even the simplest tasks that I had asked repeatedly that you complete. How many chances do you need at this? I am too lenient with you.
Too lenient? Instead of lambasting me non-stop, have you considered maybe training me some more to do this fascinating work to your satisfaction? You'll forgive me if I didn't memorize every laborious detail the last time you performed your monologue about how all this works.
Excuse me? If I'm not mistaken, you're deflecting your incompetence toward me? As though the goddess of wisdom herself has come to aid you in your time of need. I could replace you here and now with any number of simple shades hungry to work here.
Then why don't you? I don't want any of this. I'm not the one who drew the short lot with your brothers and got stuck here forever. Why am I having to do this senseless parchment pushing for you?
Why are you stuck? You're not. You're fired. I was wrong to think you were prepared to take on any responsibility at all. And don't you ever invoke your uncles here again, or I'll have you cast into the lowest pits of Tartarus. Now get out of my administration and my sight.
At least I can't be late for that job anymore. Got here as quickly as I could.
You've slipped by Cerberus again, I see. Then draw your weapon, boy.
It's kind of nice out here.
It grew distinctly colder just as you arrived. So Demeter has been in contact with you then. That witch. Tell me how much she knows.
What? I don't... Wait, this everlasting winter, it's her doing, isn't it? Why? Don't mortals die when it's cold? Sounds like a lot of extra work for you.
Then you are ignorant. Keep it that way with her, lest you risk everything you understand. The consequences would be far worse than a foul stretch of weather. But enough talk now.
Father, all this stuff with the Olympians, will you just tell me what's going on for once? How did Mother come to join you here? What's your problem with Uncle Zeus?
I thought she already told you. Come with me, now. Swear to me that you shall never repeat what you are about to hear. Swear it.
All right, I swear. I swear in your own name I'll keep what you're about to say between us. So?
So, you had it mostly right before. After I inherited the underworld, your Uncle Zeus felt sympathy for me, he says. Your mother, he knew she was unhappy on Olympus, and he knew I was drawn to her. So what did he do? He brought her here, gave her to me as a gift.
You weren't expecting a gift like that. But she didn't want to return to Olympus, and you liked her, so you didn't send her away. And you were angry with Zeus for putting you in that position. Cut ties with him.
Yes. The blasted fool with all his flights of fancy. He does whatever he wants. He could have achieved a similar outcome in a limitless number of reasonable ways, rather than resort to what was tantamount to kidnapping, even if she wanted to leave.
And now if Demeter and the others found all this out, you and Mother, even Zeus, would be in a bad spot, wouldn't he? He must have a temper on him to match yours.
You know nothing of tempers if mine is your frame of reference, Zagreus. Now enough of this. You know the rest. Remember your oath.
I will. Take care, Father. You ready for another go?
Not one of my overseers managed to stop you again. Must I do everything myself? Regarding your responsibilities, our resources director is available to you in my private quarters. Normally, it would be I alone transferring excess resources back into our realm.
The fabled resources director. So now I get to give away the hard-earned resources I've painstakingly gathered over time.
You get to do precisely that. It is not necessary that you do. But if you wish to rise above your current station, you shall do it.
What's the point in rising above my current station? I thought our work was to be done in secrecy.
It is. There is no point but pride, and pride is dangerous. Do what you will. I care not as long as everything gets adequately done.
Sounds great.
The surface is off limits, and furthermore, you are forbidden from the Temple of Styx until such time as you are fit to tend the situation there.
How about now, Father? Oh, hi, Father.
I wonder, boy, who's going to kill whom this time around.
Looks like the realm needs some adjustment still.
I see it's time again that we begin our bloody business here.
Oh, come on, Hades. Mortals are much more resilient than that. What, do you think they'll show up at your gates here all at once? They have our family looking out for them.
That is what I'm afraid of. Do you truly believe my brothers and the rest shall take the sort of care of them while they draw breath, as we do here after they have expired?
It's true we have to look out for them indefinitely, while Olympus need only look out for them for a little while. But our relatives are always watching from their mountain. And if they do turn a blind eye once in a while, mortals aren't bad at fending for themselves.
But they are never satisfied, always begging us to provide more and more.
They like us, Hades. They praise us, tell one another about us. What do you expect? Would you rather they forgot about us?
No. No, I suppose not. But they need us.
Well, we need them.
Hate to keep you from your parchment work.
Already here? Seems our underworld still has many failings I shall have to deal with after this.
Greetings, Father. Ran into Lady Demeter out there on my last outing. Or should I say my grandmother? Was she to you then, ex-mother-in-law? Source of abject terror? Hard keeping track? Our family's rather complicated.
Do not invoke her name inside my house, you hear me, boy? You do not know at all what she is like. Though I can see why you two hit it off. She hated her father. Though understandably, as he was worse even than mine. Even than yours.
Hard to imagine. Well, Guan Yu, take good care of Varatha for me.
What have you done with my ancient weapon, boy? I sense Varatha's form there in your feeble grip, but there's some garish power you've awakened in it, haven't you?
Oh, just took a splash of Titan blood at the right time was all. There's more to your ancient weapon than you gave it credit for, I guess. Though let's not keep it waiting, no?
No, let's not. Gygaros is the mightier weapon with none of the treacherous past. It needs no fanciful shape-shifting tricks to run you through. Behold.
Father, let me ask you something work-related here. I know the Shade called Sisyphus once wronged both you and Thanatos, and has since paid a heavy price. But don't the Fury Sisters now have better things to do than torture him?
You come to me to question how I allocate my resources. Preposterous. I care nothing for that wretched Shade. That he is tortured for eternity is but a technicality resulting from his arrogance. The terms of his incarceration are long lost.
So then if I could somehow find those terms, then theoretically I could grant him a pardon.
If you could somehow do your job and enact miracles, then yes. You could do anything then, I suppose. Including waste your time on those of his undeserving ilk.
That's good to know.
You would have better conversation with your chamber walls than with the boatman Charon, boy. Not all those of the underworld are prone to ceaseless chatter quite like you.
Ceaseless chatter. Got here as quickly as I could.
I had other pressing business to attend to, but I cannot let you leave.
Father, have you ever considered that Orpheus might be much better as a court musician if you permitted him to see his muse again?
I have considered many possibilities, boy. And I trust Orpheus considered many possibilities before he signed away his rights to see his so-called muse when once he invaded my realm.
So you're forcing him to stay here for eternity just because he signed a contract with you?
Contracts with me are binding, until such time as they dig themselves out of the archives and tear themselves up. And I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Who knows? They might surprise you. One less bit of business to take care of, then.
Ah, there you are, boy. I was beginning to think I'd need a thicker cloak. Tell me something, boy. Zagreus. Why did you do all this? Return the Queen. Go to such lengths. At a certain point, you must have learned the way I felt about her. Yet still you persisted. If I were you, I'd not have done me any favors.
I didn't often stop to give it much thought. I just knew I needed to find her. And then as soon as I did, I knew I needed her in my life. In other words, doing you any favors was never a priority, Father. Just ended up that way, I guess.
I see. I appreciate your candor. Nevertheless, I thank you. I do not know how you accomplished what you did, but know that I am grateful for the outcome, even if I fail to act like it much of the time.
You're welcome. It's kind of nice out here.
So, Varatha and Gygaros are to clash again upon this empty field. Let us have at it then. Well, be that as it may. If they pester you at all, do let me know and I shall have them dealt with quickly.
Oh, Hades. I think the shades around here have been through enough as it is. I don't mind them. After all the time I spent on my own, having some company has been a welcome change.
You are certain all your needs have been provided for? Because if there's anything that you require...
Require? Look at this place, Hades. Look at me. I have everything. And so do you. Try not to worry quite so much. And be patient with your son. That's all I ask.
Persephone, I cannot promise you such things. They're not my strengths. Besides, I have a reputation to uphold. God of the dead. If the wretches do not fear me, or you for that matter, what then?
I'm not going to tell you how to balance your work, your marriage, and your parental responsibilities. I don't think anybody on Olympus or below knows quite how best to manage that. So long as we do our best.
Our best. That I can promise you.
Looks like the realm needs some adjustment still.
No matter how quickly you're able to get here, I shall be waiting.
Father, all these shades, aren't they going to let on that Mother's back? What if word spreads and the Olympians find out?
You are so well accustomed to defying me that you forget there are no others, either living or dead, who would so dare. None in this house shall speak of this until we are prepared to make any announcements on our own terms.
Sounds like you've got it all under control.
Say it, blood and darkness. It's a curse, boy. Say it with me. Blood and darkness. Each available in high abundance here.
Blood and darkness well indeed. Hate to keep you from your parchment work.
I should be getting back to my desk, but I suppose the work can wait.
Father, I know we can't exactly change the past, but we can try to move forward. Look, I know I'm not even supposed to have this stuff, but everyone likes it. Won't you try it at least? Here, take it either way.
I can dispose of this properly. Speaking of disposal, I've no further need for this here, so rid me of it, why don't you? On your way out.
Father, I don't know what to say. Father?
Again, you draw me from all my responsibilities back at the house.
More nectar for the old disposal service, Father, if you don't mind. Come on, you must have tried the stuff, at least in the days before you were here. Didn't you ever enjoy yourself at any point?
I don't require beverages in order to enjoy myself, boy. Unlike so many of your kin upon their mountain. Yet this blasted substance somehow finds its way to my domain. Then fine. You wish for the customs here to be more akin to Olympus? Why not?
Why not? Father, you always said the Olympians wanted nothing to do with our kind. But doesn't Charon work directly with Hermes? Maybe it's you who wants nothing to do with them.
I want nothing to do with them, correct. My hasty nephew assists Charon out of necessity alone. Not even Thanatos is able to keep up with the rate at which mortals expire and must then cross our borders.
Want me to pitch in? Just give me your blessing and I'll head straight for the surface.
No, I think not, boy. You are born of this realm. The surface is a windswept waste. You don't know how good you have it here.
You're right, I don't. You ready for another go?
Your rampage through my realm ends here and now.
Have another bottle, why don't you, Father? Not like it's going to change anything between us, right? All the nectar in the underworld can't change what's already happened. Or change yourself.
You're probably correct. You must think it is my age that makes me obstinate. Unable to change my nature. But I have always been inflexible. You think I'm proud of it? You call me father, like it's an insult. I deserve the title only as a technicality, I know.
You could start being a better father at any point. There's no one stopping you but you.
Yes, well, unfortunately I am a significant impediment. You should be well aware of that. You were able to stop me. I have, thus far, been unable to do so.
Well, with that attitude... Saw your new pact of punishment out in the courtyard, Father. Impressed that you could find a parchment large enough to fit all the unpleasant stipulations. So you're taking even harsher measures to contain me?
Whether you consent to the terms of the pact is entirely up to you, boy. But in all your comings and goings, it is important that we have full knowledge of which property is being carried from the premises.
Think you can beat me this time, Father?
Perhaps the blasted fates shall favor me for once. And what of the complaints from Elysium? They wanted the lawns thoroughly manicured for their athletic contests.
Already taken care of. Though the flooding in Asphodel, that doesn't look like something we can clear up for quite some time. Fortunately, the residents seem to be getting accustomed to it.
There have been fewer reports about it as of late. And what of the satyr problem? Blasted things are rampant up there still.
Well, they're probably contained up there, at least. And Zagreus has been keeping them in check, hasn't he?
The fear of death keeps mortals well in check. You'd best learn to fear something yourself, you hear me, boy?
Fear is for the weak. I don't think I'll ever get accustomed to the breeze.
You bear the Aegis so much like your uncle Zeus once did. Enough of this, boy. Even mortals know better. I don't want your nectar or ambrosia or whichever offerings. You owe me no such thing, and I shall not accept it any longer. In fact, here. You shall take all of it back.
Why? It's just nectar, Father. Lighten up. I get that you're surly about everything, but please at least try toward decency with me. If not for me, then for Mother.
How dare you lecture me? I mean... Look, as you told me yourself, there's no changing what already transpired. And our memories are warnings. When you have lived as long as I have, you come to understand your weaknesses.
What are you getting at? You're just going to give up, stick with what's comfortable for you instead of making any real effort at making peace with your son.
Listen to me. My attempts at making peace are going to be rather subtle for your tastes. I cannot change the past, and there is only so much I can do about the future. I tell you this because I shall not lie to you again. That much I swear.
All right. Well, it's a start.
One thing before you depart again, boy. Until the Queen's intentions with Olympus come to pass, not a word to anyone about her presence here. Do you understand?
I do, but she won't have to hide forever. We're here, Coronacht. May you serve Rama well, if you haven't already done so, I guess.
The bow is the weapon of a coward, boy. I said so even to Hera's face. I'm unsurprised that you are drawn to it, and yet something has changed about it. I can tell.
What, you mean that Coronacht has taken on the aspect of a divine preserver person of some sort, of whom I've seen mere glimpses, but seems definitely very capable and really rather brave?
I know not why the old infernal arms endear themselves to you, and I entirely care not in whose weakling aspect you bring them forth, only to fall to me.
Always wanted to ask you something, Father. Whose skull is that there on your shoulder? If it's not too personal.
I did not chronicle all Typhon's wretched offspring, boy. No one did. Some of them sit upon our shoulders now, lest we forget that things could easily have turned out rather differently, and much, much worse.
So these are just the remains of the spawn of the most hideous monstrosity of all time, which you and your brother slew, got it? I guess putting the dead in their place is all part of the job. I can hardly imagine what it was like before you and the Olympians took charge.
You're better off.
You're looking very stately there, Father.
Come all this way again to fall to me. Would that you paid me such respects back at the house.
You wish to see me once again, my lord? It's been a while since I had an audience with you.
It has. The last time, what was it you said? That there must be some resolution to the matter, as you called it, with my son. Well, it is settled now. Isn't it, boy?
I mean, you're still trying just as hard as ever to prevent me from escaping past the threshold of your realm, so I don't know if I'd exactly call the matter settled, but it does feel different now.
And so you see, I would continue in our mutual good graces, if you please. This house can only function if the upper management is in accord. What do you say?
I say you honor me, my lord. I appreciate you telling me yourself, and I concur that for the good of all the underworld, it is imperative that each of us continue to perform at our full strength.
Then, as you were, dismissed. I thought you might arrive right about now. Then let us have our fight. How goes your heated rivalry against the greatest king of Athens lately, boy? Your battles with him and the Minotaur must be the talk of the underworld of late.
Admitted, Father. Theseus was the only hero you were able to recruit to stand against me. All the while he gets to boast about being the champion. Well, was Heracles too busy for the task?
Speak not to me of Heracles. You know these heroes by their deeds, not by their character. Heracles is fortunate he's in my brother's favor. Else he would be in Tartarus where he belongs. The mortal concept of what constitutes a hero is absurd.
They should have asked the expert, I suppose.
Why are some chambers in my house off limits. Someone deserving access would not ask. You can't always go where you please.
Think you can stop me? Oh, hi, Father.
You bypassed Cerberus again, I see. Unfortunately for the both of us. Sometimes I still cannot believe that you are here, returned to us. Your radiance in all this darkness. You must miss seeing the coast.
The coast was nice enough, Hades. But nothing is ever perfect, right? No matter how hard you try. Still, I think we get quite close around here every once in a while.
You have taken much less time adjusting to this place than when first you joined us. Part of my surprise. I myself was forced to be here. I never thought anyone would come from the surface here by choice.
The heart can make us do the strangest things, can't it?
Indeed.
Been waiting long?
You'll go not one step farther past this threshold, boy.
Say, Father, back when you drew lots with your brothers and wound up with the underworld, rather than the heavens or the seas, which would you have claimed, if the choice was yours?
I do not deal in hypotheticals, boy. Each realm has its host of unenviable problems. You have never experienced the cold and sopping sea, or the blinding heights of Olympus. I have, and I assure you, you're not missing much.
Didn't you try to leave the underworld yourself at some point? You once gave me that impression. I always thought it was because you hated it here.
I hate not having any choice. Enjoy the freedoms that you have. As you grow along in years, you gain more burdens and responsibilities, until they bind you.
Can't wait. All right, this is it.
I trust you have retained enough of your strength through this ordeal to make this worth our while. Those chthonic companion things you have from Nyx, or whoever they ended up with, I know they have been benefiting you.
Yeah, well, I'm to attempt to escape this place by any means necessary, right? I figure if I can call on Olympus for aid, maybe some of my friends can help me in a pinch as well.
Not what I mean. Some of your friends have been reluctant to engage against me during our scuffles on the surface. Know that I have authorized them to proceed if necessary.
Wait, really? You're saying it's okay for your own loyal subjects to side against you up there? You won't take it out on them?
I consider it an expansion of their responsibilities. Now go.
Nice night, no?
The heavens and the seas belong to my brothers. But know that you are still in my domain.
So what happened when Mother first arrived, if I may ask? Some of your residents seem to remember the Queen from before, yet the Olympians just never found out.
They had no jurisdiction here. No knowledge of our goings-on. Well, Hermes did perhaps, but in a very limited capacity. As far as anybody knew beyond this realm, our queen was Nyx. Ask nothing more of this.
All right, all right.
You wish to feel the breeze against your skin? Perhaps the coolness of the seas? You shall writhe from such sensations, I assure you.
Does seem that way. Crisp, cold air.
You have circumvented all of my security measures again. But can you get through me? So help me, boy, I cannot fathom why you would have bought back the authority to enter the administrative chamber once again.
I knew you thought I'd never do it under any circumstances, Father. That seemed reason enough. Though fear not, I've no plans to reapply for a position there.
That does alleviate a deeply rooted fear of mine, in fact. The scene you caused in your brief time there yet remains a widely talked about event among the shades who toil for me still.
I'll be sure to say hello. Here's the surface exogryph. Maybe it's as rare a sight for Lucifer as it is for me.
You approached me with that loathsome rail, boy, emanating a hellish fury more even than usual at that. Little surprise you took a shine to it. It was the weapon that I hated most of all.
Well, someone called Lucifer apparently thought differently and took a crack at his own father with it once. This one's for him, then.
Invoking names you know nothing about. Presuming all the while far too much. You take that monstrous artifact for another friend. You would be wiser to be wary of its influence. But let us fight.
You ever think of giving Thanatos a break, Father? He seems to have more than his fair share of work of late.
Blame the blasted mortals for perishing so easily, or blame Lord Ares prior to accusing me. With their surface wars, not only do they kill each other readily, but also often subsequently perish from the consequences of it all.
What wars? What's going on up there? Why don't the other Olympians do something?
Bah, how should I know? The mortals are equipped to settle their petty differences by any number of means. You have to make room for them all sooner or later, regardless.
That's certainly a way of looking at it. I'm here, Father. Come on.
You bear the sigil of the dead. I wear the helm of darkness. Even devoid of artifacts as these, we fight here without witnesses, in shadow.
If only everybody knew you had a mighty son most capable of cutting you down to size, with or without the ability to vanish suddenly.
A very boastful son, who often thinks too much of his ability. Come then, I'll make you vanish suddenly. Be certain that you take appropriate precautions with the sigil of the dead that you now bear. Should some misfortune come to it through negligence, it cannot be replaced.
Can't imagine what I'd do without your blessing, Father. But thank you again. I don't often inherit fate-appointed honors, and will take good care of it. Though, what if the Olympians catch on? Wouldn't do for everybody knowing that you're aiding me, even a little, right?
Correct. It would not do at all. Fortunately, the power of the unseen can remain well hidden as it pleases. What is it your instructor always says?
Fear is for the weak?
Indeed.
You're never late, Father.
Come show your father what you've learned of late. Do not hold back.
Megara and her sisters ganged up on me that time. I didn't think anyone could talk her into working with Alecto and Tisiphone again, or even be in the same chamber.
I can be quite persuasive under certain circumstances, boy. Though my advice to you, not that you'll take it, is not to discuss the matter openly. Megara is a professional, but she has made her feelings on the matter clear.
Didn't think things could get any more awkward with her.
Sulk in your chambers all you like, for I care not. I have eternity to finish with this work, so your assistance is entirely unneeded.
How times have changed. All right, we made it, Malphon. Appreciate you lending me the might of Gilgamesh.
Resorting to mere fisticuffs with me. Though how you got Malphon to look like that, I've no idea. Pray tell, whose monstrous claws are those? A manticore's?
These claws, I'll have you know, Father, belonged once to an ancient god-king known as Gilgamesh. You ever meet?
Provided he was flesh and blood at some point, then he resides within my realm. Presumably within Elysium somewhere, sadly bereft of his manticore claws thanks to you. Come, show me what they can do. So, you had a run-in with the Minotaur out in Elysium, did you? Perhaps the only soul within this realm more bull-headed than you.
How long have you been waiting to use that line, Father? Wouldn't put it past you to have sent the Bull of Minos to Elysium entirely so we could have this conversation now.
You give me too much credit, boy. The Minotaur resides where he resides because of an entirely different arrangement.
He's working for you, isn't he? You think he can stop me?
Most in Elysium jump at the opportunity to do my bidding. Not that you know what that is like. Now go, see how you fare against the bull.
We made it, Stygius. I hope this Arthur serves you well someday.
I never had any respect for Stygius, that blade you bear. Perhaps unfairly due to Brother Poseidon's sloppy form when once he wielded it. But now it seems quite different in your care.
I think we've grown quite close to one another, yes. Enough to where I've come to know a different side of this fine blade right here. This is the aspect of some Arthur fellow. Maybe the two of you could get acquainted properly.
Arthur? No name either of gods or kings of any realm I know. Then introduce us, as you say, to this new amateur to whom your blade rendered its services. Your mother expected this most recent result of yours.
Nice chatting. Here we are then, Aegis. This Beowulf will be most fortunate to have your protection.
There you are, bearing my brother's blasted shield, flaunting it about so recklessly. Though what have you done to it now?
Not much, really, besides awakening the aspect of a supposedly unstoppable dragon-slaying warrior called Beowulf. If it has the power to protect him against a giant lizard, I figure it may help me against you.
You presently shall find I'm no mere giant lizard, boy. Though we shall see whether this Beowulf is any help to you. What else can we do to contain you, I wonder?
Good chat, Father. I'm back, Father.
I was reviewing the terms of the Pact of Punishment to which you are bound. Even when my servants resorted to extreme measures, they were still unable to surpass you then. So now, it is my turn.
Caught you unprepared, did I? After Theseus and his Macedonian, I have expected to see you thundering around on some golden chariot of your own drawn by sable steeds, that sort of thing. But it's just you.
It is just me indeed. However, that should be more than necessary here. No holding back this time, Zagreus. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Sometimes I think this mess you call your chambers is one which you've cultivated with great pride. Is that the way of it?
I take some pride in making messes, yes. I'm going to get you back for last time, you know.
Extreme measures permitted even still? You must have forgotten to change the conditions of your Pact of Punishment.
Wasn't an oversight. You're strong, Father. I want to be as strong and more. Not that I'm taking after you or anything.
You wish to test yourself against the full extent of my wrath? Then very well. You have earned that right. Besides yourself, only the Titans have. Now then, attack.
I'm back, Father.
Would that you cleaned your chambers with the same devotion you show getting to these heights. You vanquished me. Even when I threw everything I had at you, and more. I fought you as I fought the Titans themselves. And still I failed.
Oh, don't take it so hard, Father. There's always next time, right? Meaning this time. Maybe I won't be so fortunate.
Of that I am most certain. Come. Let us see the limits of our abilities, then. I warn you, I shall hold nothing back. To the death.
To the death.
Your reports have been much more punctual of late, Hypnos. That is to be expected. However, the illustrated edges, a clever detail, ensures certain reports are easily procured from a stack of parchment.
Oh, thanks, Master. Glad you like those. Ever since Thanatos made pretty clear to me I was about to lose my job, I started keeping a list of my own tasks, which I sort through each day, deciding on priority, estimating time to completion, cost-benefit analysis.
Yes, well, certainly then you have a number of such tasks requiring your attention. Continue working diligently then.
Okay.
You're looking very stately there, Father.
Blast, but you're persistent even now. Though let us see how strong you are as well. Now fling the blasted thing again, I said. And put your anger into it this time, like so. Or if you've not anger enough for it yet, you'll learn, I promise you.
I've anger enough. Crisp, cold air.
Your heart-seeking Coronacht may have brought you this far, but shall not help you here.
Got here as quickly as I could.
I've other work to get to. Arm yourself and let us end this quickly, boy. You voided the contract with our court musician. Used your own authority against me.
So what if I did? Just gives him a bit of a break from time to time. He's still your court musician, isn't he?
He is. And he knows better than to undermine me, I think. Though I suppose the Queen would take your side that he has paid his dues in full by now.
He has. I don't think I'll ever get accustomed to the breeze.
I shall give you no quarter, boy. Although I doubt that you expected otherwise. Back to your senses then, boy. The Pact of Punishment is not something one ought to trifle with unknowingly, in case you've yet to notice.
Father, the Pact. You were so blasted strong. I had no idea. All those other times we fought, I can't believe that you were holding back. You were desperate to stop me. You could have.
We are bound by the fates to this realm. It is ours, and we belong to it in turn. And I did not hold back against you. Rather, I had forgotten my old strength. Some of it since returned to me.
Must have been all our vicious battles to the death. Or maybe it's from Mother being back in your life?
Pointless to even ask. What motivates us is a complicated thing. But if you long to face me with the power I once held during my own youth, you have available to you the means.
Bet I can take you. Think you can beat me this time, Father?
It seems our realm has many weaknesses. I shall deal with them shortly then.
It's done, Mother. Father, the invitations. Personally sent to everyone with whom I've been in contact. So what do we do now?
Excellent, Zagreus. Congratulate him, Hades. On a job well done.
Persephone, how can you be so certain your request was executed to your satisfaction?
It's known as trust, Hades. Or faith. They're similar. Try one sometime. It'll be good for you. As for what we do next, why, we've a great big feast we must prepare.
This house is not a suitable location for such guests. Dionysus alone shall bring ruin to this place. What? The faith thing that you said.
Yes, good. Now then, we have a lot of work to go around. So why don't we call everyone on staff and let them in on this, and dole out suitable responsibilities, all right?
All right.
All right.
All right.
Thus did all of Olympus journey deep into the underworld, all together for the very first time. The Queen Persephone revealed herself in all her splendor, much to their surprise, and told them everything she indicated to her son. She eloped with Grim Lord Hades, she said, mothering a fire-stepping prince who sought to reconnect with his extended family. Hades and Persephone at first refused his wish, but so moved were they by his relentless struggles to the surface that at last they decided to heed their willful Zagreus and reach out, for his and everybody's sake. The Olympians listened to all this in stunned silence. Then Zeus himself began to laugh. "Welcome back into the family," he said. After the shock subsided, the festivities began.
I say, big brother, you and your better half put on a positively smashing night. It's a relief for all of us, knowing Persephone is safe and sound. And mother to as noble of a son as my good nephew there. Well, little brother, the Queen and I in turn appreciate you all taking time out of your doubtless busy lives to come all this distance to my house. I'm certain it is very modest in comparison to Mount Olympus, but I trust that you were suitably entertained. Oh, of course, Hades. Now then, farewell, and let us keep in better touch from here. Farewell indeed, Lord Zeus.
When finally the great feast ended, all the Olympians returned to their mountain abode, fully satisfied. As for the house of Hades, it required thorough cleansing, from the rafters to the floor. Such revelry, of course, is unbecoming of the name of Hades and the fearsome reputation of the underworld. For if mortals were to have no fear of death, then they would have no fear of anything at all. A well-kept family secret, then, this would live on to be.
Whew. I'd say that went about as well as could have been expected. And the cleanup wasn't all that bad. For the most part.
Well, fortunate Uncle Zeus seemed to catch on right away and went along with it. But this whole elaborate tale you spun... I remember how hurt I felt when I found out Father lied to me about you. Now we're lying to Olympus. What if they find out? Even if they don't, I don't like it.
Zagreus, I may not be an expert, but here's what I've come to understand about how families work. At least our own. The thing is, how we speak to one another is even more important than the words we use. I think, deep down, everyone in our family knows this.
You're saying they all knew you weren't being perfectly honest and went along with it anyway. I guess the pomegranate thing in particular was a bit of a stretch.
The common ground in our family is that we want peace. Besides Ares, though even he would rather the conflict occur elsewhere. That elaborate tale, it's less a deception and more a concession. A way of saying, let's move on from the past and start anew. No hard feelings.
You don't have hard feelings? What about Father? What about Demeter?
Well, let's see. My hard feelings are nothing next to the joy of having my son in my life. Your father never imagined his relationship with me could be out in the open. And my mother, she's just glad I'm alive.
And Uncle Zeus is glad things didn't turn out worse for him. I get the sense he acts a bit impulsively at times and deals with the consequences later.
What can I tell you, Zagreus? We're family. You said it yourself to me before. We're stuck with one another. That any of us like each other in the slightest, It's a wonder and a blessing, I think.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Thanks, Mother. Think I'll be heading out again soon. See you when I get back.
Sounds good. I'll see you then.
Do not stray far again into the pits of Tartarus, or become lost like all its residents. Content yourself to look upon it from afar.
How about I take a closer look? All right, this is it.
If you are here, then the Olympians must still be lending you their aid, just as before. I scarce believe the Queen's preposterous idea worked. That all it took to settle an old score was a blasted family feast.
Come on, Father, even you must have enjoyed that feast to some extent. We ought to do it more often. Good thing you trusted Mother's judgment on that one. So then, to the death once more?
Indeed. To the death as always, boy. Zagreus, ready yourself.
Hate to keep you from your parchment work.
No matter how often you defeat me, I shall face you here.
I'm here, Father. Come on.
Untold murderous wretches in my realm, all at my beck and call, yet still you made it here.
So now that the festivities are over with, it's back to work like this, the same as ever.
Do you have any idea what happens when you announce the underworld as a queen, boy? Damn it. Zagreus, I mean. You become inundated with well wishes from every blasted shade that wants something.
You're responding to well wishes? Aw. Don't you think some of your subjects are sincerely happy for you?
The work, nevertheless, has to be done.
You're never late, Father.
You would take aim at me with Exegriff. Then very well. Ugh. Come get your gloating well out of the way so I can get back to this parchment work. It piled up in my prolonged absence.
I'm not here to gloat, Father. Well fought back there. I can't believe I got you.
Nor I. Next time, the fates may not decide to favor you like that. If there shall be a next time.
I'm thinking there shall.
Nyx is the night herself. The twin sons, sleep and death. But you? I cannot think of anything I fear. Except the god of talking back to me.
I am the god of blood. You ready for another go?
Remember, I can always get here much, much faster than you.
Father, how are you doing without Mother around? Will she be all right on Olympus?
Clearly, she is more than capable of handling herself. And we here have been well accustomed to not having her about.
So everything's back to normal then? That sounds lovely.
Nothing is normal anymore. Besides, she shall return. Knowing that she shall return, is that not sufficient for you? Be patient, for once.
Glad you're handling it fine. Oh, hi, Father.
So, you think that you can vanquish me with my fool brother's old forgotten blade? Poseidon was never any good with Stygius. Grew envious of my spearwork. Now he's famous for that fork of his. Always taking credit where none is due.
Must be hard knowing that everybody's going to think you learned your spearwork from Poseidon, not the other way around. As for Stygius, I can assure you it's in good hands now.
Your assurances mean nothing to me, boy. You think yourself quite capable? Then show me.
Father,
You are predictable in your arrivals here, less so during the fight itself. Tell me in brief, boy, our own upon Olympus, are they continuing to aid you as expected?
Still showing up and lending their support. I think some of them are a little disappointed I'm not planning to come join them, though I think they understand now that they owe the underworld a debt. We all have to do our part looking after the mortals, whether alive or dead.
Indeed. I half expected they would disappoint, abandon you to toil on your own. At least thus far, they've honored their commitment then.
They have. One last bit of business to take care of, then.
I shall be interested to see if you can vanquish me again here, boy.
It's good to see Mother's back. Not that I was too concerned, but I was definitely a little concerned.
I shared in that particular concern. And yes, it is good the Queen has once again returned. And she shall have to depart again before we know it, so cherish your time with her, boy.
Zagreus.
Zagreus. These gemstones that you mock, boy, are a symbol of the power of this realm. To you, they're merely trinkets. But to mortals, gemstones hold more value than their very lives.
Let's go find some gemstones, then. Nice night, no?
That heart-seeking bow you wield, it is nothing but a tool for cowards, boy. Everyone, look who it is. The latest reports indicate that mortals are fully twice as fearful of ending up in Tartarus as in our last evaluation period, thanks to the destruction you have caused. You are an unseen power in the underworld. Commendable.
Commendable? Me? An unseen power, huh? Surprised you're giving me the credit, Father.
I give credit where it's due. But the mortals? They know nothing of what transpires here. Only rumblings we permit to escape our realm. Rumblings that reinforce their deepest fears about what shall transpire after their demise.
So the more havoc I wreak in the underworld, the more mortals hear about all the unpleasantness, and it makes them fearful of this place. If more of them lead upstanding lives, it'll keep Tartarus from overflowing, I guess.
Precisely.
Been waiting long?
You would attack me with the savagery of the twin fists. Then come.
I never stopped to think about why pomegranates grew here in the underworld. Mother's doing from before then. And all that stuff she told the Olympians about how they bind you to this place. It's all nonsense.
You know full well that the pomegranates in my realm hold a certain power beyond the tartness of their taste, boy. The Queen, she has a way with plants, you see. A bit of her own mother's gift, applied more sensibly.
You kept them growing all this time, flourishing even because of her.
They are very easy to maintain.
Looks like the realm needs some adjustment still.
Well, Zagreus, even if I vanquish you, arriving here is a sufficient feat.
So, are you maintaining better contact now with Uncle Zeus, Uncle Poseidon, and the rest? Oh, and is it all right for me to speak about them here?
I'm certain the superficial messages we have exchanged shall taper off with time. We have always been apart, irrespective of the distance separating us. I know Zeus is content with your mother's version of events. Thus we are at peace, for now.
Wait, what do you mean for now?
I mean only that our family is prone to causing problems for itself. Never content to leave things well enough alone. But if we have little to do with them, their quarrels, or their nonsense on Olympus, it should be of no consequence.
But their family.
Pah!
It's kind of nice out here.
show me everything you've learned of how to fight.
Father, of all the skeletons and such in your direct employ, you wouldn't happen to have any here around the house, would you? Out in my courtyard, for example?
Skeletons? I'm sure they'll welcome you when next you visit Asphodel. You may not realize it, boy, but we have a certain standard of decency we uphold around here.
I figured.
Waste not your time, though it is limitless. Busy yourself in doing things of use. Learn. Learn how to learn. I cannot teach you everything myself.
You taught me that, at least. Still chilly out here, thanks to Grandmother.
I was just thinking on when last I vanquished you. Come, refresh my memory. I must say, you made a hollow mockery of Theseus that time.
You're never late, Father.
Enjoying the delicate warmth of the surface, Zagreus. Apparently, the generosity of the goddess of seasons knows no bounds.
Does feel a bit different, maybe. Though Demeter said something about how this spot in particular would remain bereft of warmth as a reminder. Do you think she knows what happened with Mother, really?
Demeter may harbor vengeful feelings and suspicions, but she is no fool. Experience teaches us to know when to quit. Though evidently, that is a lesson you have yet to learn. I must admit, that was a job well done back there.
Father?
The sea and air are very still this eve, though I suppose that is about to change. Doubtless I shall get you for that one next time.
Crisp, cold air.
Who shall be first to return home this time, do you suppose? How dare you to insinuate Poseidon has the slightest jurisdiction here? Once waters from the surface flow beneath the earth, they become mine. Each of the rivers, they are mine, not his.
Whatever you say.
I knew someday the Eternal Spear would turn on me. Let's see you wield it, boy. You're interrupting me during my time at work.
Nice night, no?
Be still. These waters, teeming with Poseidon's river denizens. That one there before me, it's been taunting me, I think, for quite some time.
You offering to take me fishing, Father? Sounds more pleasant than having you slaughter me again, or the other way around.
You mistook my meaning. First you shall have my spear, then that thing shall, if it has not yet come to its senses. Though if you vanquish me, I'm certain your uncle shall not mind if you extract it yourself.
I'm pleased to know my new, more flexible arrangement remains to your satisfaction still, my lord. I must admit I feared that my departure would result once more in a protracted stay within the pits of Tartarus.
Don't give me such ideas, Orpheus. Instead, you go about your business there and play your blasted songs when circumstances call for it.
I shall be happy to oblige, my lord. Eurydice and I are grateful for your magnanimity.
Good thing that's settled then.
What I attempted to tell you, Nyx, is I am grateful for our long-standing collaboration here. My rule was thrust upon you and your kin. By all rights, you ought to have undermined my every move. I often thought you would. Yet once Olympus and I severed ties, you stood by me still.
I am the night itself, as you well know, Hades. As I declared to you when first we met, I shall stand by your side so long as you remain the fate-appointed ruler of this realm.
I shall require no additional reminders. Know in turn that I shall always oversee this realm to the full extent of my ability.
You have my gratitude.
Think you can beat me this time, Father?
It seems it's time again I sent you home myself. Why am I never proud of you? Don't take it personally, boy. I'm never proud of anything. Pride is perhaps our family's worst trait. See how many mortals are with us because of it.
A little pride's all right.
I suppose that you must be eager to repay me for last time, then.
Be good, boy.
You altered one of my own pacts without so much as seeking my consent, undoing terms that were agreed upon. Do you intend to undermine everything in this house, boy? Or only me?
Only you, Father. Good thing I've inherited some of your fate-given authority, being your son and all. Otherwise, some of your most loyal subjects would be bound by exploitive terms for eternity.
Terms that they chose themselves. Terms to the benefit of this house. What if Achilles were to leave his post for the green pastures of Elysium? What then?
You could find a replacement, but it's a pointless question anyway because he's here. He isn't leaving. He might even do better at his job now that he has increased ability to step away from it.
A naive hope at best. The more you step away from your responsibilities, the less you shall want anything to do with them.
Not if those responsibilities matter. Still chilly out here thanks to Grandmother.
Again, you seek to use the power of Malphon against me. Fine.
All right, this is it.
I must admit, this is a welcome change of pace from all the parchment work. The Shield of Chaos. What a monstrous thing. How suitable for you. I understand the terms of your employment have been altered in my name, Shade. Be grateful that you lack the standing for such changes to require my personal approval. Though you remain in my employ, correct?
As far as I'm aware, yes, Master. I'm sworn eternally here to this house, except it seems I'm now at liberty to see Elysium from time to time. While off duty, of course.
How lenient do they make these pacts today? You are off duty now, is that not so? Go then. Take advantage of the added benefit.
Yes, Master. Thank you.
Sometimes the law is not so bad.
The dead are judged and sent to Asphodel, Elysium, or Tartarus. We keep the process neat and orderly. Everyone gets in, no one gets out.
No one gets out. You're looking very stately there, Father.
Let us see if the support you're getting from Olympus amounts to anything of use. Go rest yourself if need be, though the underworld is ready when you are.
One last bit of business to take care of, then.
Our last exchange left much to be desired for my part, but this time we shall see. Blasted parchment work, it never goes away.
Hate to keep you from your parchment work.
The blade of the underworld cannot help you here, you realize that, boy? You've taken more advantage of the Pact of Punishment than I would have expected, boy. I almost wish to commend you for doing such a thing.
almost. I've been rampaging through the worst your realm has to offer, causing you untold inconvenience and likely a fortune in repair costs. I thought you'd be upset.
Upset? Heavens no. Through your repeated bumbling, you have revealed a number of shortcomings in our operations, which my underlings are busy working to address.
You know you sound especially despicable when you say underlings, don't you?
Don't let me keep you any longer, boy. Go forth. Try to escape again. You're helping make the underworld a better place.
Plenty of room for improvement.
You think the rail of adamant can vanquish me? We'll momentarily find out. Go instill some fear in those wretches out there, would you?